What's up, bookworms? This is Dani Reads, and today I am bringing you an accumulative book haul. So I have not posted a book haul in a couple of months. I have accumulated quite a few books since then, so I just want to get into what I have actually purchased. I am going to start with the stuff that I bought back in October and work my way to recent. So let's just get into all the books that I have purchased. So the first book that I purchased was Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, which is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. I picked this up. I've been picking them up in paperback because that's what I have the entire series and I want them all to match. So I've had to wait for this one to come out. I have only read the Throne of Glass and the Assassin's Blade, but I feel like I want to wait until all these books are out to then be able to marathon them, especially with all the detail that goes into these books. I want to not forget things by like reading one book and then waiting like 6 months and reading another book. And I don't want to be super invested and then have to wait for the next book to come out. So I think I'm just gonna wait until they're all out. I'm gonna reread Throne of Glass and then go from there. The next book that I picked up is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. There was a couple of booktubers who were talking about this author. I honestly don't know anything about this book. I know that it's like she writes thrillers, so I want to just leave it at that. I hate reading the back of books for thrillers because I feel like it just gives everything away. So I'm just going to leave it at that. The next two books that I purchased I have already read. Well, I technically already listened to both of them on audiobook. The first one being Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I adore Amy. I think she's so great and she does such great things for women that I've already listened to her audiobook twice in like a year. So I needed to physically own this book and like support her because it's awesome. This book is very heavy, like it's very dense, it's weird. But anyways, if you don't know, this book is just kind of like how Amy got to the place that she is, and it's all about girl power, and if you set your mind to it, you'll do it. And yeah, so I'm super excited to now own this. I'll probably physically read it at some point, but I'm just happy to support her. And the other book I picked up was Wildflower by Drew Barrymore. I was very surprised that I liked this book, only because I really enjoy Drew Barrymore as an actress, but I was just kind of nervous on where this book would go. But oh my god, like this book, it's about her life and how she grew up and how she got into the business, just kind of like how Amy's was. But it was just so well written, and I really loved that she was the reader of her audiobook, which Amy was too, which was also incredible. But yeah, as soon as I saw, I think this one was at Barnes & Noble for like $5, so I was like, I need to have it. I love the audiobook. I need to own this. So again, I'll probably read this physically in the future. And the last book I got on that trip in October was Buffering by Hannah Hart. I have not read this book yet, but I adore Hannah. I always watch her videos, her Snapchat, Instagram, all that fun stuff. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Hannah Hart is this adorable person who mainly on YouTube does My Drunk Kitchen, where she gets drunk and then she cooks stuff. And it's pretty cool. And she had a food show called I Heart Food, and it was so cute. I loved it. But I was just super excited to see this at Barnes & Noble, and I just had to pick it up. I will definitely be reading this soon because I'm super excited about it. And the next book I picked up was just at a random trip at Walmart, and that is Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. It's embarrassing. I still have a sticker on here. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people pick this up, and I was just really intrigued. I think it's about like virtual reality or like reality games, something. That's all I really want to know going into it. The synopsis is very, very vague, so I kind of want to keep it vague going into this, but a lot of people are really raving about it, so I'm excited to get to this at some point because I'm not promising I'm going to get to any of these anytime soon. The next purchase I made was Black Friday on Bookoutlet because that is my annual tradition to do that. So I got this big box from them and I'm super excited. I got 18 books and it only cost me $37. $37! Like a lot of these books were $1. Like it was awesome. So let's just get into all the books. I I was gonna do an unboxing and then I got super impatient, and I've actually already filmed this video once and I wasn't happy with the content, so I'm refilming it because, you know, depression happens. So let's just get into the books I bought from Bookoutlet. The first book I picked up was solely based on recommendations by Chelsea at Chelsea Darling, I believe is her channel name. I'll link her channel down below. She's incredible. She deserves more subscribers. But that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. She raves about this book. Chelsea raves about this book. And it is an office romance. So I liked attachments, and so did Chelsea, and she ended up liking this. So I really trust her opinion. So I really hope that I like it too. This one I really hope I do get to very soon, because I'm just really intrigued and I'm actually really down for some romance right now. The next book I picked up was When Dimple Met Rishi. Of course I picked this up. Everyone was raving about it over the summer and I just needed to have it. Plus, look at this cover. Like, I would see it on people's like channels and I'd be like, oh, that's really cute. And now I see it in person and I am obsessed. Like, this is probably one of my favorite covers ever. But I'm super excited. If you don't know, this book is about these two characters who are being set up into an arranged marriage. Dimple does not want it. Rishi is super excited for it. They end up going to the same camp, and Rishi knows about the arranged marriage and Dimple doesn't, I think, or something. And then they meet, and I'm assuming they probably hate each other at first, and then they probably find some common ground throughout. But another romance, and I'm super excited because I love summer camp romances. I think they're so great. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm super into contemporary romance now. So everything that I've said on my channel before this is probably a lie about me not liking romance, because I don't know. Now that's all I want to read all the time. It's kind of weird. But anyways, let's keep going. And the next book I picked up is Revenge, Ice Cream, and Other Things Best Served Cold by Katie Finn. All I know about this is that it's a summer contemporary and it's about this girl who's seeking revenge on her best friend, I believe. I picked this up because it just sounded like a quick, fun, like romance contemporary read. And yeah, I've been really liking summer like contemporary set in this summer. So I'm just really, really amped to have this, and I'll probably read it either like late spring or during the summer. The next book I picked up is Camp Confidential, Second Summer, Wish You Weren't Here by Melissa J. Morgan. This is about a girl who goes to camp every year, and it's like her second life. She gets to be whoever she wants to, and this summer a person from her school ends up going there too. So now she has to kind of reconfigure how she's gonna live essentially her double life. I'm pretty sure it's middle grade because the writing is huge. It's super short, but I'm really excited to get to this like in the summer months because it'll be a really fast read, but I think it's going to be really interesting because I feel like it's going to be more of like a friendship contemporary over romance, which is sometimes you need that. The next book I picked up is Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. I have read an Abby Glines book before and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I think I just went into it I wasn't expecting anything with like her writing style or anything like that. So I feel like now that I kind of know how she writes in her style, I can go into this a little bit more confident, and I think I'm going to like this. So this is about football at a school. I'm assuming it's kind of like Friday Night Lights kind of thing, and I love stories about football, like football cheerleading in high school. I don't know why. It's just I was never a cheerleader. I was never really involved in football. I didn't even start going to football games in high school until I was a senior. I just like, I don't know, but reading about them and about people involved in those things, my favorite thing ever. So that's all I really know about is that it's about football, and that's all I really want to know. But I'll probably pick this up again, probably like maybe even fall, because that's when football season starts at least. Maybe I'll pick this up in the fall. The next book I picked up is The Museum of Heartbreak by Meg Letter. I'm super excited about this. This gave me To All the Boys I Loved Before vibes, and it's about this girl who anytime she has a crush on someone or gets her heart broken, she like puts them in this like shrine thing. And yeah, it definitely gives me Laura Jean vibes, and I'm super stoked, and I hope that it's kind of similar to that, because To All the Boys I Loved Before is my favorite contemporary romance ever. So that's why I picked this up. I don't know anything else about it, don't want to know. I just want to kind of go into it as blind as possible. The next book I picked up, I have seen around forever, like even when I was a lot younger, and finally I was like, you know what, it's $1, I'm gonna buy it, and that is Flipped by Wendelin Van Dronen. Sorry. It's about these two kids who first notice each other when they're in 2nd grade, and the girl like really likes him and he kind of doesn't give her the time of day. Now they're in 8th grade and they're dating, and it says everything is flipped. So I'm intrigued to know what that means, but it's super short. It should be really fast. It's a middle grade, so it'll probably go by fast. But since I've just always seen it and it was $1, I had to pick it up. The next book that I picked up, I know a lot of people were raving about over the summer, I think. It could have been longer than that. I don't know. I've been so out of the loop. Who knows? But that is Mosquito Land by David Arnold. And this is about a girl who goes to live with her dad when then she finds out her mom is sick. So she takes a bus all the way back to her mom. And it's just about her adventures on this bus, and I'm super excited. Just sounds like a nice adventure-y kind of story. And yeah, I'll probably be picking this up pretty soon because I'm kind of wanderlusting a little bit. So the next book I picked up is How to Be Bad by E. Lockhart, Lauren Miracle, and Sarah Milnowski. I have read 2 of the 3 authors that are on this. Lauren Miracle, I was kind of underwhelmed with her writing a little bit. E. Lockhart, I was also underwhelmed, and I haven't read Sarah, but I just was really intrigued by the synopsis. It's about these 3 friends who, one of them's like a bad girl, one of them's a goody two-shoes, and the other one just will do anything to please whoever she's around. So I'm just intrigued to just read about a little friendship, and obviously they're gonna do something bad, so I'm intrigued to find out what that is. So the next book I picked up is pretty much because I own the first one, and that is Through the Never Night, which is the 2nd book in the Under the Never Sky trilogy, I believe, by Veronica Rossi. Only reason I picked this up, I honestly don't even remember what this series is about anymore. I'm pretty sure it's dystopian, but I was really intrigued when I bought the first book, so I figured this one was like $1 or $2. Might as well pick it up just in case I like the first one, then I have the second one to read. So the next book I picked up is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welt, and I got this recommendation from Haley at Hales in Bookland. If that is not her handle, I will put it right here, and I'll also link her channel down below because she's awesome. Love her. And yeah, she did a recommendation about a bunch of contemporary romances that were also like travel-y kind of books. So I always really am intrigued to read stuff about like Europe and all that stuff. So when I saw this was on recommendations, then I saw it on Bookoutlet, I was like, let's give it a go. The next book I picked up, which after I received it, realized that it was actually 2 books and not just 1, so extra deal, and that is The Summer of Everything by Catherine Clark, and the 2 books that are in here are Picture Perfect and Wish You Were Here. The first book, Picture Perfect, is about this girl who is going to her summer beach house to hang out with all of her friends. Super excited to kind of forget about the guy who broke her heart a couple years ago, but realizes that that relationship is still kind of sticking with her, and she's having problems with a new romance that is trying to develop. And Wish You Were Here is about the girl going on vacation as well, and she just kind of wants to have this awesome trip, and I'm sure things go awry in that as well. But I was super intrigued. I'll definitely read this probably in the summer to give me that summery vibes, or during the winter when I'm just wishing it was summer. But I'm just super excited, and I was super happy to find out it was 2 books in 1. The next book I picked up is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. I'm excited about this. All I remember about it is that it's about some like badass chick who's gotta, you know, do some stuff and take down some people. But this was recommended to me on Tumblr probably like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. It was a while ago, and I never picked it up. Saw it on Bookoutlet, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I like badass female characters, so why not? Let's try it out. The next book I picked up is Wrecked by Maria Padian. This is about a girl in college who gets raped, and some people are trying to cover it up, some people are trying to expose this guy kind of thing. And or is she raped? Yeah. So this guy is accused of rape, and he's saying she's lying and trying to like victim blame and stuff like that. These kind of books I feel are just so important and need to be read, and I'm really hoping the representation is good in this, but I've seen a couple people pick this up, so I was intrigued enough to pick it up myself, and I will probably be reading this really soon because the synopsis is actually really intriguing me. The next book I picked up is Half a World Away, and this is a middle grade, I believe. Looks middle grade. It's about this boy who I believe was adopted by his parents, and then he gets to be older and the parents decide that they want to adopt another child from the same area that he's adopted from. So he is now in this panic thinking that he is being replaced by this new kid instead of like it being an addition to the family. So it's about his inner struggle of trying to figure out how he is supposed to live in this new life, and it seems from the synopsis that he seems to start to realize like, oh, I'm not being replaced, this is just a new addition. But it'll be interesting to see kind of where this story goes and how this kid feels. I also thought that this was really important just because, just in case in the future if my spouse and I ever decide to adopt, I feel like this would be a good book for our kids to read, just to let them know, hey, you're not being replaced, we're just adding another person to our family. So not only do I think that this is just, it just sounded kind of cute and wholesome, I think it would be actually a really good book for our kids to read in case we decide at some point to adopt. The next book I picked up is Meant to Be by Lauren Morrill. This book was on BookTube probably when I first started BookTube, and I was like, oh my god, I want to read that, like all this stuff, and then never got my hands on it. And so when I saw it on Bookoutlet and it was super cheap, I was like, why not? So this is about a girl who goes to Paris, I believe, London. She's in London and meets a guy, you know, the typical contemporary romance. But I love romances, especially when they're in London or Paris. So I always had my eye on this, so I figured, why not? The next book I picked up is The Night We Said Yes by Lauren Gabaldi. This is about a pack of friends who spent one night just saying yes to every single thing that happened to them. And then one of the guys like leaves and tries to come back and try to relive that night, which I feel like would be really interesting because it's like, you left. So why would you have any right to come back and be like, hey, let's do that again, kind of thing. And I think in one of the people in the group he was actually dating, so shall be interesting. I thought it would be, hopefully it's kind of like not super light but not super heavy either, but I'm intrigued to read this. Speaking of heavy books, this next one is definitely going to be heavy, and that is Taking Aim, and it is edited by Michael Cart, but it's written by a ton of authors. And this is all about gun violence in schools with teens. So feeling like the day and age we are in, this is necessary, and I'm just really intrigued to read these stories. I know it's going to be heartbreaking. I know they're going to be really hard to get through, but I'm happy that I have this to kind of educate myself more on all the gun violence things that could be happening or are happening in this world. I know that these are all fictional stories, but they're real somewhere, and the more education, the better educated decisions people can make. So this book is important, and I'm really intrigued to pick it up. So I went on one more shopping trip, and I honestly just did it because I was just having a really horrible week, and it was right when I kind of gave up on Vlogmas for not only this channel, but I actually ended up giving up on it on our family channel, which was heartbreaking for me because I just couldn't handle it. And if you follow that channel too, there will be an update on that channel at some point as well, so stay tuned for that. That one's gonna probably be pretty hard. But anyways, went to the store. It was buy two get the third one free at Books A Million, which I don't ever really get to go to because it's not that close to my house, so I had to jump on the opportunity. So let's just get into those three books. The first book I purchased is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Clues. I think that's how you say her name. If not, let me know down in the comments. All I know is that there are a couple of booktubers who love this book. I'm pretty sure Jessie the Reader is one of them. I don't know anything about it. I just know that there was a lot of talk about it because the second one just came out, And yeah, I kind of want to go into it blind, see what it's like, and just form my own opinion. But I know there's a lot of people out there who really like this book, so I'm just excited to get into it. The next book I picked up was actually inspired by a Booksplosion book a couple of months ago, and that is The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I never read this as a kid. My sister did, and I believe my sisters all saw the movie too, and were really liked it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna read the book first because bookworm problems. So this was part of the buy two get the third one free, so I figured we might as well pick it up because it sounds like something that I'll actually enjoy. The last book that I picked up is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mathers. I was recommended this by my good friend Kristen. She read this, and because I told her I've seen it at the library, and I was like, oh, I wasn't really sure, it didn't sound like anything I'd be into, and she goes, no, you need to read it. So it was buy two get third free, so I picked it up and was like, I'll give it a shot. So that's why I picked this up. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to read the back. I don't want to spoil myself. I just kind of want to go into it blind. That is all the books that I have purchased in the past couple of months. I will be having one more book haul, and then I'm done. I'm not going to do any more book hauls, and I'm not going to be buying any books for a really long time, but that will be all explained in another video. But just enjoy this now, because it's probably going to be like 20 minutes long because there's so many freaking books. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. Keep reading, keep smiling. Bye guys.